Okay, here we go. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn about Strive Worldwide. We know the circumstances that bring us together today are a little unique and can be a little scary, but we're going to get through this together. So our goal today is to tell you about our program, answer any questions you have, show some examples of our classes so you know what to expect, and have you experience what it's like to attend one of our seminars, which you are already doing because this is the platform where we host our seminars. And so our plan is to run this session very similar to how we run our seminars. So we're going to include some elements here that you'll see in our classes, and we'll call those out. So the first one, who's ready to get started? If you're ready, type in R in the chat box. And if you're already using the chat, but if you didn't know how, our next slide is looking at the chat, how to chat.
All right, so I'm going to show you how to chat. I'm also going to turn on the closed captions. All right, oops, 2 clicks is too many. So if you are accessing this on a computer, you're going to look at this part of the screen. So down at the very bottom, there is a little kind of like a word bubble in a comic strip. If you click on that, it'll open up the chat box. If you're accessing through a mobile device like a phone or an iPad or tablet, it will look more like this. You'll have to find the participants option and then click that and you can find the chat box in there. Most of what we do is based out of the chat box in via text, but if there are times where you have a question or you'd rather answer a question out loud, if you type an X in the chat box, we recognize that as like raising your hand and we'll see that and then we will turn your mics on and off that way. Otherwise, we would like you to keep your mic off unless we ask you to turn it on, or we will turn it on for you. Questions on any of that so far? Don't think so. Great. Moving right along. This is what we like to talk about at the beginning of every class. This is one of our PSL Strive kind of mottos, is do with, not for. If you're attending with support, that's great, but we want to remind the supporters in the audience that this class is for the students and that we're super excited that you're there with them, but we would like you to remain helpful, but we don't want you to be over to the right with over-involved or enabling. We'd like to ask a question and hear the participant answer it, rather than have the staff whispering the answer to them. That's not really going to help them very much. So we would like you to support them. Maybe that looks like rephrasing a question. Maybe it is redirecting them to focus. Maybe it is, helping them to get to the answer, but telling them the answer is not what we want. Does that make sense? Great. All right. Then let's look at our agenda. So I'm going to move my chat box. The chat box you can also move around so it doesn't have to stay in one place. So right now I'm going to move it off of my words. So here is the agenda for today. In a second, we're going to do some introductions, and I've given us 7 minutes. We probably don't need that long, but we've got that much time just in case. We are going to do an icebreaker activity. That's one of the things that we always do in our classes to kind of warm people up, get people talking. It's also a good place to practice using the chat box. We're going to do a quick overview of what Strive is. Then we're going to talk more specifically about Strive Worldwide. We're going to do a demonstration of the course. And then we've got lots of time for questions if anybody has questions. We're going to go a little bit into what comes next, what do you do next? And then our checkout process, we call Rosebud and Thorn. So we ask everybody to share what they learned today, what they're looking forward to, and something that might have been challenging or something they're still confused about. So if now you know where the chat box is and you have learned everything there is to learn on these last 3 slides, type an R in the chat box and we'll know you're ready to move on. All right, all kinds of R's from everybody. Great, let's do it.
Cool. So these are the talking heads that you are seeing on the screen right now. Starting with me, I'm Ann Ryan. I am the program director of Strive Worldwide, which means that I create the program and build it out, and then help students as they're registering for the class. So if you're already registered, you would have received an email from me with your login information, and you can always reach out to me if you have any questions.
Great, and I'm Sarah Brown. I'm the training coordinator for PSL Strive and Strive Worldwide instructor. So at Strive, I teach all of our staff and make sure that they are up to speed and know what they're doing. And then I also instruct our Strive Worldwide evening classes. And now that we're doing it during the day, I'm going to do that too.
I'm Kelly Fry. I am the Strive Tops Transition Specialist. I also work with Emerge. I teach full-time at Strive for high school students transitioning out of high school into adult life. I am here to teach the online classes during this closure period for the 2 different sessions, 8:30 to 10, and then 12 to 1:30 with Sarah. If you need anything, you know how to contact me. My email is right there. Thank you.
Yeah, Betsy, I think you're still muted.
Unmuted.
Good
All right,
morning. I'm Betsy Morrison, and I am the Transitional Services and Employment Acquisition Manager for PSL Strive, which means that I oversee the TOPS program, our Next Step private pay program, after school program, and then also I'm the hiring manager for PSL Strive. I'm just glad that everyone's joining us for this session, and if you have any questions, you certainly can ask me, but more importantly, ask any of the other 3 staff. So thanks.
Okay, great. And we want to hear who's joining us today. So if you could, again, using the chat box, just type your first name. And if you're joining independently, great. If you have somebody joining with you, if you want to share their name as well, and then we can get to know who's joining us today. Hi, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Hi, Phil.
I guess I can unmute. Good morning, Phil.
Okay, great. I think we are ready for icebreakers.
Let's do it. Hi, Kim. Kim is an ed tech with the Strive program.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, so first we wanted to check in and see who has done an online class before. So if you have, you can type a Y for yes, or if you haven't, you can type an N for no. All right. We got some yeses and some nos, so good mix. Our next icebreaker question, and these are more of the fun questions. These are the types of things that we do in our class. We do them each time we start the class. And we just like to ask fun questions to get to know one another. So our question today is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? And I will start. I have always wanted to be able to fly, so that would be my superpower of choice. How about you, Sarah? Ah, Sarah says teleportation.
I was typing my answer. Definitely teleportation. I would want to be able to kind of pop in from one place to another. Like, I'm kind of missing my keyboard from my office. I could just kind of snap my fingers and be there and get it, and then snap my fingers and be home.
Love it.
Yeah. Kim would like to use telekinesis, and Betsy would like to fly like a bird.
And I'm with you, Sarah. I want to have some teleportation, except I do love driving. So I don't know how that would impact my love for just being on the road. I think I'd have to
Suppose you could drive when
Yeah,
you
more
want to,
special.
but not have to.
Yeah.
It might be more special.
Yep. Teleport right out of traffic.
How about you, Philip? Okay. While you're thinking on that, we'll do either flying or teleportation. All right, flying would be cool, and teleportation would be so you could get from one place to another easier. Yeah, great answers.
Totally agree.
All right, so I know I don't have support in this. Well, let me first ask the question. What is your favorite pizza topping? And I found out last night that I am, I think, the only one of the group of presenters, at least, that appreciates a good pineapple on pizza.
I like pineapple on pizza, but it's not my number one.
Okay,
And
that's fair.
to be fair, I've never had pineapple on a pizza. So
Never ever?
no, I haven't.
Sweet.
It
and
usually
salty,
comes with some
delicious.
other topping and I don't eat it. So
Betsy likes artichoke hearts. Kim likes sausage.
artichoke hearts. Interesting.
I think my favorite pizza is Hamburg bacon.
There you go. You have a
Yay, Philip.
Philip loves pineapple on pizza, but would have to say sausage is his favorite.
All right.
I would say my favorite's Hamburg onion, red onion, if I could
I
choose.
don't like red onions. Nope. I do like kind of like Hawaiian pizza, but like next level Hawaiian pizza. So pineapple and bacon.
Okay.
Yep.
If I'm being honest, when I was living in Lewiston, I lived right next to Da Vinci's Pizzeria, and my friend and I would make like this white pizza. We would order a special white pizza with ricotta and extra cheese and caramelized onions and pineapple, and it was top notch.
There you go.
That's pretty awesome.
We sometimes do chicken broccoli Alfredo pizza at home when we make it. So Alfredo sauce and chicken and broccoli on top, loaded. It's good.
Now I'm hungry. It's too early for pizza though. Okay, our last question. Well, we are all practicing social distancing and we are all, or mostly all of us are at home at this point. What is your favorite outdoor activity that you can do while you are home? Mine is walking on the beach. I live close to the beach, and so it's a great way to get some fresh air and get some exercise and get out of the house. Basketball, that's a good one.
Kim says walking the dog on the beach. My friends this morning, two of them went for a run, but because they can't be near each other, they ran on opposite sides of the street. I probably won't go running with them, but I am looking forward to going for a nice walk. Looks like Betsy's looking forward to going for walks too. Great.
Cool. So that was our icebreakers. You can look forward to that in our seminars. We'll have different questions.
Yep. Different questions every day. We also leave space here for announcements. So if people have things that they really want to share, we give them a place to share them so that they don't pop out in the middle of a lesson. So we have space for that too. I think Kelly's going to talk a little bit about Strive.
I am. So Strive is a nonprofit that serves tweens, teens, and young adults with intellectual disabilities. Our programs kind of run from age 11 all the way to 24, with our camp and tweens program being for the younger side, and then we kind of graduate up to our high school students with our TOPS program, and then our adult programming starts with Next Step and Strive Bayside. We also have Strive Night every Friday night, which is a community event for 15 to 24-year-olds to come and socialize from 6 to 9. Not during this closure, but once we open that back up, we will let you know. The TOPS program is really geared towards transitioning students from high school into the adult world. And so we work closely with all the other programs to make that a smooth transition. Students and participants come to our Foden Road location for most of these programs, and our Strive Bayside program is located in Portland in the Back Bay Tower. I think that sums it up. Anyone wants to add anything? Welcome to.
I think that's great. How about if you are watching along, if you are ready to move on to the next topic, type an R. And if Phil and Betsy and Kim and Kelly and me, we're ready. Let's do it. All right, so about Strive Worldwide. We're going to talk about what Strive Worldwide is. So Strive Worldwide is a first of its kind online program that teaches independent living skills to individuals with intellectual disabilities and autism. Online learning has grown in nearly every area of education and grown a super ton this week. And at Strive, we continue to find new ways to provide access for our participants. So we asked, why should that be different for our students? I really think that it's cool that we were super ahead of the curve. We've been working on this project for over a year now, and we've been running classes for just about a year online. So it's great that we didn't have to create this program this week. So we're really proud of that. Because really it was a missed opportunity that online education wasn't for people with disabilities, because we're kind of proving that it is. So online education creates more access for neurodiverse learners, allowing students to participate in multimodal ways, so like lots of different options that can be repeated as often as necessary. It also provides access to services throughout the state and the country and the world. Currently in our evening classes, we have, I think, 6 or 8 states represented and Canada. And we're pretty excited that through this opportunity that we can offer it to our current top students, as well as opening up to any high school students throughout the state who might need some support in this time. So we're excited about that. So let's talk about kind of the nuts and bolts. So typically our courses are 5 weeks long and we meet twice a week for seminars, but we've put it at a much different pace because you guys are used to learning all day, every day. So what we're going to do is we are going to do 1 course a week, and we are going to have 2 seminars a day. We are going to meet 8:30 to 10 in the morning, and then again 12 to 1:30 in the afternoon in a live seminar format like this. So we also offer an orientation and technology self-assessment. So before students get started on their first course, we have them complete an orientation. This allows them to practice all of the elements of the online class, as well as completing the technology self-assessment, where they tell us how they currently access technology. As you'll see in some of the upcoming slides, we structure our course similar to how we interact with social media and apps. So the students will who have access to a smartphone and tablet and know how to use it regularly will be mostly comfortable with our classes. The technology assessment asks the student what technology they currently use, how they use it, like a smartphone, a tablet, a computer, all of which can be used to access the course. And if they use it independently or with support, this allows us to identify which areas they may need, and we may need to help provide them with additional support. So for the course itself, there's 2 parts, the self-paced work and the seminars twice a day. So the way that works is the self-paced work is housed in our learning management system, Talent LMS. Students have about an hour or 2 of homework that they'll do each day on their own. We're going to look at some samples and examples coming right up. And then our morning and afternoon seminars will be using the Zoom platform that you're seeing right now. So if you're already logged in here, you know how to do it. So great job. So let's look at some parts of the self-paced stuff. And do you want to do a couple of these?
Sure. So as Sarah said, our courses are set up to how one might interact with social media. So we use a lot of videos and narrated content to introduce concepts. And they're set up just like YouTube, and most often really are YouTube, and we embed them in the course. And then each of the videos and the narrated content has playback, so you can rewind, repeat, and view it as many times as you need. The videos all have closed captioning enabled, and again with the playback controls. So the example that you're seeing here is from our Healthy You course, looking at portion and serving size. And this is a video that we created ourselves. And when we do create our videos, we have Strive participants as actors. This video doesn't have a lot of acting in it, but we do have our participants as actors. So if anyone ever has a dream of being an actor or an actress, just let us know. We're here to support you.
Cool. All right, so more along the self-paced content. Our quizzes are set up similar to BuzzFeed. So after we introduce the concept, we'll check the students' understanding, either by a quiz or completing an assignment. Then we'll revisit and discuss the concept more in detail in our seminars, using spaced repetition, to help our students retain the information. We try to make the quizzes pretty fun. I'm gonna play it again. So that they mirror taking quizzes on BuzzFeed. So the example playing here, we're looking at private and public information in a unit on online safety. Students have to answer questions to figure out which Harry Potter character they are, and if they spill the beans and give away all their private information, they're Hagrid, because Hagrid always says, "I should not have told you that." But if they keep their information private, then they're Dumbledore. Cool. So again, all the content is narrated with playback controls so that they can review and repeat. The classes and quizzes aren't set to pass or fail. They're set up to have them try again. So if they don't get the answers correct, they start over and do it until it is correct at their own pace and comfortably. More of a growth mindset than pass-fail. And we do that so that they can demonstrate understanding. Cool. And again, anytime that anything is text-based on the screen, it's also read aloud.
Yeah, so in addition to quizzes, we have different types of assignments that will help us to check for understanding. So what you're seeing here is an assignment from our self-advocacy course, where students are defining in their own words what self-advocacy means to them. And so when we do have an assignment, we give students multiple ways on how they want to participate so that they're most successful. So in this instance, students can either type a reply, upload a document or a picture. They can record a video or record audio for their responses. And in this instance, the directions to the assignment are text-based and visual. And when that's the case, you see, or you may have seen at the top, there's also a link included that's click to listen. So if reading is not your greatest strength, then you can listen to the audio version. And we include that in emails. Anything that's text heavy will have a link so that you can hear the audio or you can choose to read it. So we like to give our students lots of options.
Cool. So everybody still following along? How about an R if you're ready to move on to our last couple of sections on our self-paced content? All right, looks like everybody's still alive. Great. All right, so more on self-paced content, discussion boards. So you'll see again that the audio link is used in the discussion boards, which are just like social media discussion threads, like on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or things like that. There's an audio file for the discussion topic. Then the students can type a response or attach a file for a response, which could be video, audio, visual, lots of different options. We also include a link to a free speech to text tool. So anytime that there's a place where students need to type an answer, they can click on that and speak it, and it'll convert it to text. Even if they'd rather speak, so that if they rather speak their answer than type it, they can. Cool. Let's talk a little about our live seminars. So we're gonna do our seminars twice a day, like we talked about. We use the Zoom platform, which has audio and video and screen sharing. If students have used FaceTime or any other video communication, they're probably going to be comfortable using Zoom. The way that we have our seminar set up is that the instructor uses video and audio and screen sharing for a presentation, kind of like you see here. We use Google Slides for the presentation because it has built-in closed captioning, which you see at the bottom of the screen. And it narrates everything that's said. It's not perfect, as you can see, but it's pretty cool. Students participate by typing in the chat or typing the X in the box to raise their hands so that we can have their mic enabled. In most classes, unless they're pretty small, we'll have the students keep their cameras and mics off. The teachers will manage turning them on and off, except at the beginning and end of the courses where we allow people to use both their cameras and their mics so that they can socialize and check in with their peers. Again, like we said, we're going to have seminars twice a day. They're going to be 8:30 to 10 and 12 to 1:30. And then in between, and then maybe after, we're going to have people work on the self-paced stuff.
Can I ask a question, Sarah?
Sure.
So when it's time for seminar, do they just click the same link that we clicked to get into this?
I think that there's actually a different link for class.
Okay. How do we find that link?
Anne's going to tell us.
Great.
So we will have a link and it'll be sent out each day, but it is going to be the same link for all of the personal safety course. So each course has its own link, different than this one, but within the course every day it'll be the same, but we'll send it out as a reminder each morning.
And it's going to be sent to the students, and if we gave a support email, it'll go to them too. Wonderful. Thank you.
Also, if you can't find your email, you can't access your email, but you have access to the internet. If you log into your course in Talent LMS under live seminars, it will say you can click here to access your seminar. So the link will be in there as well. Cool. So we've given you a lot of stuff. What questions do you have for us?
So we can do just some sort of frequently asked questions. One question that we get a lot is what happens if I miss a seminar or I can't attend a seminar, I have a conflict. And that's the beauty of these sessions. They're recorded and we will post the recording of each session in the course. So that way, if you are unable to attend one or more sessions, you don't miss them, you still have the ability to participate.
Cool. What if 90 people sign up? What are we going to do?
We will split the section. We will have
it would be kind of like a regular high school class where, you know, just because you're not in geometry class doesn't mean that the geometry teacher isn't teaching, right? So maybe they have a 9 o'clock geometry class and a 12 o'clock geometry class. So I think we would just stagger the seminars so that as many people can access it as need to and want to.
That's a good point. Should we have many, many, many signups, then the seminar times that we talked about might be a little bit different for you.
What about, I know Strive Worldwide is open to the public. Will my high school students be interacting with 45-year-olds?
No. In this case, these sections are just for high school students, and they're a unique section. So as we said, they're 1 week sections and they're 1 week classes just for high school students. If after this social distancing is lifted and schools are back in session and you're interested in taking more Strive Worldwide classes, we offer those in the evenings, and that has a broader age range of 16 and older. And we've had classes with 17-year-olds and 59-year-olds.
Great.
I think an important note to add would be, you know, we're going to be flexible throughout this whole process. And if we're finding that, you know, the way we formatted it doesn't work for our students, we're going to adjust. And so kind of keeping an open mind and being flexible and learning with us as we try this new format, and as us as teachers and instructors get to know the students in the class. And we really want to individualize it as much as we can throughout this process, even being remote.
Yeah, such a good point. And that extends outside of Strive Worldwide. I think this is an unprecedented time in history where everybody is being asked to do things differently, quickly, and that can create a lot of anxiety, and you just need to take a deep breath. We can practice our box breathing, which we do in some of our classes, and really armor yourself up to try new things and be flexible.
Any other questions? How about R, if you're ready to move on to our next steps and wrap up items. All right, let's do it. And I think Kelly's going to talk about next steps.
All right, great. So if you are already signed up, if you're a top student specifically, then what you need to do is check your email. I have sent your Gmail information to a parent or guardian or other support if you happen to not have your password. Once you have your password, go ahead and log into your Gmail or your email and look at the login information for the Strive Worldwide site. You can log in and try out the orientation, and you can start the self-paced work. There's a discussion board that you can write in, and then some other lessons that you can kind of peek ahead to. If you're a student that is interested in signing up, talk to your school district, either your school case manager or the special ed director, to get confirmation that you can attend this course during this closure. For school contacts, if you have students that you want to sign up, we are asking that you email Betsy Morrison. Her email address is bmorrison@pslstrive.org. If you have any other questions as a school contact, please reach out to Betsy or myself, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Our class starts tomorrow morning, Wednesday, March 18th. Our first live session is at 8:30. So some next steps for students that are going to be participating is to set your alarm clock. Make sure you're up by 8, you're getting dressed, you're still going through your routine, having breakfast, and try logging on as soon as possible. You can click the link and log on, and as soon as one of the instructors comes on, then the video would start. But that way you know it's going to work. If you have any questions before then, you can email me, Sarah, and or Betsy.
Great. How about an R if you are ready for RosebudThorn activity? All right, I'm seeing them come in, so we're going to move on. Okay, so Rosebud and Thorn is one of our kind of culminations. It's going to wrap up the day, and Rosebud and Thorn is our way to kind of assess what we did through seminar. So we asked everybody to type a Rose or type R and say something that they learned for today. And then they can type a B and say something that they're looking forward to. And then a T and something that they're unsure of, or something that was confusing, or something that was really challenging for them. So if you guys want to go ahead and type your Rosebud Thorn, you can. Or if it is a small enough class, we can turn on mics and video and people can tell us what they were feeling today. All right, Kelly's Rose was that the link for the live class will be emailed. Cool. This is one of the hardest parts of online classes, is waiting for people to respond, and the instructor just kind of sits. And it's hard. Kelly says that her bud is getting to see all of the top students. Social interaction in any way is exciting. Absolutely. Bessie's rose is that she appreciates the friendly, comfortable, and informative session. Great. Kim said her rose is, thank you for all the work. I'm enjoying learning how all this works. Great. I don't think we really spelled it out, but one of the things that we really like to do is pretty much read aloud everything that comes through in the group chat, so we can acknowledge that the students are there and that the students know that we can hear them and see them, and it's not just one-sided interaction. We will, of course, kind of screen that so we're not reading out loud comments that are super off topic or are uncomfortable or inappropriate. Philip says that his rose is learning exactly what this is. Great. I think my rose for today was that I'm excited to have this to be able to send out to prospective school districts to see if they're interested in joining us. My bud is, I'm really excited for class tomorrow. I'm excited to see how that's going to go. And my thorn is, I think everything is a little unsure right now, but I'm excited that we're on it and working through it. Anne says that her bud is trying Strive Worldwide in a new way, 1 week sessions with twice daily seminars. Kelly says that her thorn is trying to keep the cats off the home office.
We actually love when animals join our classes.
Absolutely.
Okay, good, because I have 3 cats and they're all around me.
I think I'm going to stop recording now, but we'll stay on for questions and comments. And
Great. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank